Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller.
One of my viewers wanted me to talk about a group of white males who are calling themselves sperm donors. Now, the viewer sent me articles talking about these four white males, Kyle Gordy, Clive Jones, Ari Nagel, and a guy named Joe, who all say that they're sperm donors, and all of these men have made claims that they have fathered hundreds of children, and one has a goal of fathering over 2,500 children before he winds up leaving the earth. Now, many of these men, they want to brag about all of the children that they are supposedly having, but when I take a critical examination of these men, they have nothing that they should be proud about bragging about. Because when I look at all four of these men, what they are whoremongers, and what these whoremongers are looking to do is they're looking to intellectualize their sexual promiscuity in an effort to justify it. Now, these men want to make it look like they're out here doing a noble deed by going out here and fathering children by all of these feminist indoctrinated women who want to have a child but don't want to have a father in the child's life. And when these men go out here and have sex with these women, because these men aren't out here just giving these women sperm like they would get at a sperm bank, in many cases what they're doing is going out here and creating a covert contract with that woman where they go out here and give her a child. Meanwhile, they can secretly go out here and put notches in their belt and say that they've had all of these different women, and they can also brag about these women going out here and having their child. Now, what these men are doing is basically perverting the word of the Most High, who said to men and women to be fruitful and multiply. But when he said this, he wanted men and women to be fruitful and multiply in the institution of marriage under God's natural order. Because in the institution of marriage under God's order, what he wants men and women to do are create families under his order where everybody knows where they come from as related to their bloodline. Moreover, what he wanted a family to do was come together under his standard, where not only is the mother teaching the child, but the father is there also reinforcing those values by going out here and giving those children male life skills and male survival skills, something that these children won't get because this man has gone out here and spread so much seed outside of wedlock. And because he spread so much seed outside of wedlock, those children are not going to have a father in their lives to provide them with guidance on how to navigate the world. Because any man can go out here and spread seed inside of women as he's having sex with them, but it takes a man of great character to go out here and be a head of a household and be a man working towards meeting the standards of the Most High and looking to be a steward under God's order. And no, when a man is out here and he's looking to meet that standard, he wants not only for him to go out here and be fruitful and multiply, but he wants that fruit to go out here and be good fruit, because he now understands that in order for his children to bear good fruit, he needs to go out here and cultivate that fruit by going out here and providing it with the nutrients that they need. And the nutrients that a child needs are the guidance of a father. They need the mentoring of a man, because again, there are only some life lessons that a father can teach his son or his daughter, because if that father isn't there, what happens is those children don't get the guidance that they need, and while they are being born into these single parent homes, they don't go out here and bear good fruit. No, what happens to those children is that they grow up like stalks and become children of the corn. And that's basically what these sperm donors create. They create a generation of children of the corn, because these children who are raised by these single mothers, they don't have that foundation as related to being nurtured, and because there's nobody there to really give those children any sort of emotional support or any sort of guidance, they wind up on the road to becoming these children of the corn, and these children of the corn grow up to become men and women in crisis. That is what flies over the heads of these so-called sperm donors, who are sitting up here bragging about all of the children that they have created with all of these women. Yes, these men will sit there and say, oh, I'll give a woman a baby, but a baby needs a father, and that's something that these men don't want to be, because these men, basically what they want to do is go out here and be this sexually promiscuous man, this whoremonger male, but what he wants to do is put an academic title around it, saying, oh, I'm a sperm donor. Well, let me tell you who else is a sperm donor. There are guys like Pookie and Ray Ray. Those are sperm donors, and once they go out here and smash this woman, they go out here and demolish every chance that she gets at having a abundant life under the Most High, because once she goes out here and has sex with that man, and she just winds up miserable after that, because it's not a biological thing, sex. No, there's an emotional and spiritual component to it, because whenever a woman has sex with a man, like Ringo talks about, he not only releases his rod inside of her body, he also releases his spirit inside of her, and her DNA starts to bond with that man. So many of these women, they're thinking, oh, I'm just going to have sex with this man and get pregnant by him, but you wind up being emotionally empty, because this man does not reciprocate. This man is just there to drop some seed, but he's not there to go out here and meet this woman's emotional needs. And many of these women who have babies by these men, they're sitting there wondering why they're feeling empty after they had the baby that they so-called wanted. The reason why they're feeling empty after it is because sex, again, was designed by the Most High to marry two people and bring them together under God. He did not mean for men and women to go out here and have casual sexual encounters like these sperm donors want to have. Now, the sperm donor, again, he wants to intellectualize sex by making it look like it's just a biological thing that men and women do, and he wants to make it look like this so that he can justify being sexually promiscuous in his mind, because his goal is to just go out here and be able to smash as many women as possible without any sort of social stigma attached to it. As long as he's going out here saying, oh, I'm a sperm donor, I'll give you a baby, what many of these women do is try to rationalize having sex with this man, because many of these women want to go out here and continue to be sexually promiscuous. And while many of these women have basically taken a ride on the cock carousels with all of these Pookies and Ray Rays, now what they want to do is call themselves trying to have a child with a so-called quality man. But the irony is that while this man who's calling himself a sperm donor is a so-called success, he basically is another whoremonger like Pookie and Ray Ray, who has created a gimmick that will allow him to get lots of women to drop those skid mark thongs. And as they're dropping the skid mark thong and he's sticking the carbon rod inside of the atomic waste reactor and creating some nuclear fusion, what he's doing is being able to again go out here and say, I had all of these women, and he's out here bragging, oh, I'm a dad. No, while you are a biological father, you are not a father as related to the standards of manhood, because a true to the game father is a man who stands at the side of his children. A true to the game father is looking to build a family. A true to the game father is looking to go out here and take care of his children, because any guy can go out here and plant seeds in a woman to create a child, but it takes a man to cultivate those children and bear the fruit that the Most High wants and create an abundant life for that family. That is what a father goes out here and does, the same way the Most High goes out here and tries to cultivate people who go out here and rebel against him. But the whole thing is that the only way you get good fruit is if you go out here and cultivate that fruit. Because if you don't cultivate those children to bear good fruit, what you're going to do is create more children of the corn, and that flies over the heads of many of these feminist indoctrinated women who sit there and believe that they're going to go out here and have this baby because they want the baby for themselves for vanity reasons. They're not thinking about the needs of the child. They're not thinking about what the child is going to need as they're coming into this world. No, they're just sitting there thinking, oh, I want a baby, as related to their own ego, and they want to just go out here and have a child with any guy. And in some cases, I believe many of these women want to have a child with these guys, because I remember reading about Ari Nagel, also known as the Sperminator, and how he was exploiting black women who wanted to go out here and have that biracial baby. And because these spellbound women saw Ari Nagel, a white man, they saw an opportunity to have that mixed child, and they were out here getting with Ari Nagel, taking him to motel rooms and allowing him to smash the carbon rod inside of the atomic waste reactor. And as he was smashing the carbon rod in the atomic waste reactor and collecting another skid mark thong to add to his collection, many of these women were sitting there smiling at the prospect of having that white man's baby. And many of these other guys, they were out here looking at these women who are desperate in their older age and thinking about getting them again to drop those panties so that they could go out here and be able to smash these women. And these women could have gone out here and gotten themselves a quality husband, but they didn't want a quality husband. No, they saw a man as an object, and because they saw a man as an object to go out here and get his sperm, they went out here and got with these whoremonger males. And these whoremonger males, yes, they gave them babies, but the whole thing is they didn't want these men to participate in their role as head, because many of these women did not want to submit to that man. They did not want to submit to his leadership. They did not want to submit to him as the head in God's order. So they hoped to subvert this man. But when they look to subvert this man and have a baby outside of wedlock, what they're doing are creating these children of the corn, and these children of the corn that they were once proud to have. When these kids start hitting puberty and start growing up and rebelling against them, that's when many of these women are going to be looking for a father to go out here and help her with these children. But she'll find nobody there, because this guy is just out here smashing and bouncing. And as he's smashing and bouncing, he's out here creating more and more dysfunction in all of these communities across the globe. Because when you have children who grow up in single mother households, you have children who are going to be growing up to become men and women in crisis because those children don't have that father in their lives. But what I find to be very interesting about all of these men is that because they're white, what they're doing is trying to rewrite the story, make these guys into some sort of good guy. And that is the most troubling thing about this narrative, because when there were black men going out here and having 50 kids by different women, they demonized those black men as the bad guy. They demonized those guys as having children out of wedlock. And there were efforts by those women to go out and put that man on child support, even though they were possibly getting $3-4 of child support because he had so many kids. Those women actively looked to put the black man on child support, but the white man who was out here smashing all of these women, none of those women are actively going out here and looking to put all 4 of these white men on child support. No, they're sitting there and intentionally saying, I want to get pregnant by this white man. And it just shows how many of, especially the black women, were deifying and worshiping the white man, hoping to get the biracial child. And as they were looking to get the biracial child, they weren't even looking to get this man to be a father in the child's life. No, they just wanted to have the child, and they were willing to forego and forsake child support from this man. And he's able to go out here and smash as many women as he wants. And again, just showing me that this is just intellectualized whoremongering by a bunch of academics who want to sit there and brag about all of these children that they're having, children they're not taking care of. And it just shows me again how there's a double standard, because again, the black men who went out here and had classrooms of children, 26, 50 children, these guys were basically castigated and called the bad guy. But these women, they will sit there and give this white man a pass for his sexual promiscuity, and they'll sit there and give this white man a pass because they want to go out here and have these kids by this white man. But the whole thing is the kids suffer at the end of the day, because instead of there being healthy children, what we've got are hundreds of children who are growing up to become the next generation of men and women in crisis. Now, if you want to learn more about what leads to these children becoming dysfunctional, you can pick up my books, The Man Crisis and The Woman Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis and The Woman Crisis on online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes' Godbreaker. The man who rules the world takes on the Asgardian god of thunder in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes' Godbreaker at online booksellers today.